Well, if we could get Can, we could do Candidates.
Hello everyone, this is Masahiro Sakurai from Sora Limited.
I
The
mean,
Super Smash
Terry
Bros.
did
Ultimate
it.
game was recently honored with 5 awards at this year's Japan Game Awards. It's received a great many awards on top of that as well. Each award is very meaningful to me, so I would like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks to all those who have voted and to all those who have supported us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Alright.
Without further ado, let's begin the presentation. First, we'll start with what the Neo Geo is. It refers to a 1990 video game console for use in arcades and at home, as well as the name of the system itself. In 1990, the equivalent to the Super
soccer
NES
is a
was only
busy
just
name.
released in Japan, so if you wanted to play arcade games at home before then, the option was to play the less polished ports on the Nintendo.
Yeah, I like those awards.
However, with the
Those
Neo
are
Geo
cool.
system, you could play the arcade versions of games at home with
I
no
think
drop.
there are awards. I don't think
1990 was
they're
right around the
trophies.
year that I started working for a game company. Back then, Japan had rental services for arcade games. In other words, you could go to a rental store, rent an arcade game, take it home, and play it.
Damn, dude, you should definitely get Terry right.
After that,
Update him,
they were
get the
sold for
software.
home use, but a single game would cost about 30,000 yen.
If you already bought the party pass, you should get him right away.
That's
Yeah, I
expensive.
already did.
Okay, then you'll get Terry then.
Compared to playing a game in the arcade 300 times at 100 yen per play, you're getting
What do you
your
think
money
of that
back.
game console?
At the time, some people actually thought this was
pretty cool.
cheap.
Pretty epic.
I mean, there really are people who've played games in the Super Smash Bros. Series 1,000 or even 10,000 times.
I think Sakurai is a
the
Japanese
MBS,
person.
as it was
I don't
called
know.
then,
I think he's from
was sold in
China or
various places.
Japan or something.
For
I
an
don't
arcade
know.
machine, it
Yeah,
wasn't all
maybe.
that expensive.
Actually, Sakurai is from Japan,
You could
so
also
he
get
probably
them
is
on
Japanese.
Yeah.
That's why you'd end up seeing lots of candy stores having a Metal Slug cabinet.
That's why he doesn't know English.
The home version of the Neo Geo came with this controller.
Maybe he does speak Japanese because he's
It
from
has 4
Japan.
buttons.
Maybe he was born
And this is the actual
speaking Japanese
console
when
itself.
Maybe he was born.
Here is the
Yeah, he's
reception.
probably born
You can
there.
slot in the big
Yeah.
game cartridges. This is the Neo Geo.
the Neo Geo.
Just kidding.
Oh, he did me.
Actually, this is the Neo Geo X. The
Oh, it's an
part
arcade
was
machine.
released afterward. You could also insert
Did you already
it
get to the arcade machine?
and play it as a home console.
No, he's just showing us.
Beat Nintendo Switch to it.
Console.
Oh.
A portable, multi-purpose console. Updated iterations of past
So I
systems
just passed the
are
arcade
mapped
machine
to the
if
Neo Geo.
you see that in the video.
Next, let's
Fatal
talk about
Fury.
what Fatal Fury is.
What is it?
It released in 1991, the same year as Street Fighter II. But this one came later.
Fatal Fury kind of reminds me of
It
Street
launched
Fighter.
after Street
Yeah,
Fighter
kinda.
II. Like many of the other fighters,
Probably
Fatal
different,
Fury
though.
was
Different
often regarded
characters.
as a title that was developed to capitalize on the popularity of Street Fighter II, but that's not really the case.
That's what Terry's
Actually,
from,
both
huh?
Street
Fatal
Fighter
Fury,
II and
King of
Fatal Fury
Fighters.
were developed using the original Street Fighter as a foundation. In fact, the development of Fatal Fury was started by one of the planners of Street Fighter.
I like it when Sakurai talks about Fatal Fury. That's pretty cool.
Did I just hear you say wow? This one is also a
Did you get to the part where he's talking about it?
Oh yeah.
In this story, someone named Jeff Bogard is killed.
He's talking
by
about Fatal Fury because that's what
Heath
Terry's
Howard
from.
starts up a fighting tournament in Southtown,
Oh, that's
which he
Terry's father
runs.
or Jeff Bogard.
To avenge his father's death, Terry enters the
What?
tournament, which is known as King
Terry's
of
father
Fighters.
was Jeff Bogard.
I mentioned the term King of Fighters, something you may have heard
Oh
before.
yeah.
Yes. There's actually a popular series called The King of Fighters, and that series was named after the fighting tournament within the world of Fatal Fury. And Terry Bogard, who is the protagonist
Dang,
of
Fatal Fury looks.
also
I don't know. I think I
appears in
should.
the King of Fighters series as one of the main characters.
Oh yeah.
I think I should play Fatal Fury.
If you want to play a
Probably
game
can
from
now.
either of the Fatal Fury series or the King of Fighters series, many of them are available now on Nintendo Switch.
I
as
played
part of the
Street Fighter
arcade
before. I
arcade
should play
machine.
Fatal Fury.
Oh yeah.
You may not know which one to play first, but my recommendation from the Fatal Fury series would be Fatal Fury Special. From the King of Fighters series, my recommendation would be the King of Fighters 95. But if you want to play a fighting game with all sorts of strategic elements, then I recommend the King of Fighters 98. Next, I'll give you some insight on Terry Bogard. Actually, this video was recorded about 1 month prior to its release. That's because we need to translate and edit videos like this one, and that takes time. The game footage you see here is not from the final production ROM, so please understand that there may be some elements that differ from the final game. Since we have the opportunity, I want to talk about Terry using a lot of SNK lingo, meaning in this discussion the younger generations may feel a little out of the loop. But there's nothing to worry about. When we released the original Nintendo 64,
Terry looks really different in Fatal Fury than Smash.
Samus.
Yeah, I like
Whether or
that,
not the
but
character is fun to play as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone. I want to make sure I present Terry to you in such a way that you can fully understand his appeal. So thank you. Okay, let's begin.
What?
Terry Bogard brings the battle.
This is Terry Bogard in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's still wearing an outfit that reflects the era of his original game, but we did our best to make
Dude, there's gonna be a Incineroar amiibo.
When you stand
Saw it
next
on the
to him,
internet.
it almost makes you wonder, is this really a Super Smash
I
Bros.?
think I want to get that amiibo, Incineroar.
Just like you, when you're playing one-on-one,
That'd be
he'll face
cool
the
to
opponent. Actually, he always looks in the opponent's direction. Even if
Just
he
like
moves
Chris got the
face
snake
behind the
move.
opponent, he'll quickly turn around, always keeping his focus on the opponent.
Terry joins the battle.
Let's talk about his moves. His neutral attacks are jab, body blow, and high kick. Each move is something familiar from the Fatal Fury series. And his dash is power charge.
Who's buffer, Ryu or Ken? I mean,
This is a
who's
move
buffer,
that
Ryu or
Fatal
Terry?
Fury Special and others.
Looks like Terry's buffer.
In the original series, it
And
was
Ryu?
a
He looks like a
special
football
move.
player when he does that. Like to do a touch attack.
His tilt attacks are middle kick, rising upper.
I like his pants. I like Terry's pants.
Compared to Ryu, his attack speed is slower. This is to match his
And he's
original
wearing a hat. Maybe he's wearing a hat because he's a
Now for
gangster.
smash
No.
attacks. First up,
He's like a
backspin
gangster.
kick.
Yeah.
This smash attack is the equivalent to his strong attack, but the motion is even cooler than in his original series. Next, wild upper and slide kick. Both are from the original series. Then his midair moves. Jump, then chop. Jump, then kick.
His down tilt is kind of like Ryu.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then somersault kick.
The only difference is
However,
it's
this
slower than
somersault
Ryu's
is not
down tilt.
included in the original series. But we needed a move to attack up. So
I like his side smash. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like really cool.
Also, jump and then karate punch.
Well, that's kind
Or
of
down
like we use.
And his up smash is kind of like
It's
up,
possible
kind
to
of.
attack with a meteor effect,
Well,
as you can
spike.
see here. It's basically like Ryu's. Next, I'll cover his throws. His forward throw is his familiar Buster throw.
His back air,
His
man,
throw
it's
is
just
also Buster throw.
a blade.
And his down
His up air is somersault
is
kick.
neck breaker drop. In
His
fact,
up air is kind of
we use
weird
it in the
though.
game Fatal Fury:
it is.
Wild Ambition. I miss playing that game on Hyper Neo
Oh yeah, Terry can also spike you too.
And then his
Yeah, I
up
saw
throw
that.
is grasping upper. This sort of dodge
It's
attack.
kind of like Ryu's
after
though.
spot
His spike is kind of like
I
Ryu.
mentioned dodge attack. And this actually does exist. During a spot dodge, immediately press the button to counterattack. During a dodge attack, your upper body becomes invincible, so this kind of move gives you the advantage when you counterattack.
Oh, nice.
Now,
I like his throws. His forward throw and his back throw are the same.
his
Though.
neutral special
Yeah.
with just the B button is Power Wave.
Power wave.
Yeah, power wave is his B
Depending on how
move.
long you
Yeah.
press the button, you'll
nice.
use one of two types of special attacks, weak and strong. This one is weak and kind of slow, and this one is strong, fast.
I like. You know that's his
In
stage
his
though.
original game, you use 3 buttons.
Oh man, that's Terry's stage right there. Where he's standing
For
with
Terry
Ryu.
Bogard, you could use 4 buttons in his original game, but there were only 2 buttons for punch. So that's why he only has 2 attack levels, weak and strong. This rule applies to all of his special attacks, so please keep that in mind. By the way, the attack Power Wave is a move that shoots energy.
I wonder why they call it power.
But how does it look in the air?
What?
In his original game,
I wonder why they
it
call
was
his
in the
B
air.
move the power wave.
This is how it looks now.
Alright.
As of the King of Fighters 96, the Power Wave ability had a shorter range, so we've recreated that version of the move. It's a useful move in midair and helps keep opponents in check.
That's cool.
Next, we have a special performed while holding in the direction of your opponent, Burning Knuckle. This move also has a weak and strong version, as well as a command input. Like the Hadouken command input from Street Fighter 2,
I like Terry,
perform this
but he's
command
kind of
using the directional
his moves,
inputs
man.
down to the side in the direction of your opponent, and then press the button. Doing so makes the move a bit stronger. This means that Burning Knuckle has 4 variations.
No offense, but power wave is
Without
kind of
command
weak.
input, and strong
Power
without
wave?
command
I
input.
don't know, they just power wave.
With
Yeah.
command
Oh yeah,
input,
power wave.
and strong with command input.
Do you know his side B is burning
Of
knuckle?
course, the most powerful.
I think so.
You'll hear a noise when you input the command.
Yep, his side B is burning knuckle.
And if you've succeeded,
His side B is.
you might also notice some green mixed in with the flames. It may be slight, but there is a difference. The strong version with the command input really is strong, even capable of KOing opponents.
Burning knuckle.
It can be blocked, however, so be on the lookout for that.
Well, that makes sense because
Such a
fire's
case,
on his
you'll be
knuckles.
left wide open.
Oh yeah.
They call it burning knuckle because he would hit you with his knuckles on
This is the
fire.
first for the Super Smash Bros. Series, but the side specials are split into 2 versions, a back special and a front special. That means there's one more side special than usual, Crack Shoot.
Oh, that's
This
nice.
is a familiar
Crack
move
shoot.
from his original game.
Yeah.
There's also a command input version. It's performed by using the directional buttons down to the back, followed by the A or B button. The command version can launch your opponent quite a bit further.
Wow, that's strong.
It creates a bit of an arc, so it can be used as an anti-air attack when your opponents try to hit you. At close range, if you happen to be blocked,
Oh, and by the way,
it's
Terry
hard to
has
be
2 side Bs.
counterattacked because you'll
He has
press
burning knuckle and crack shoot.
There's
Yeah, I saw
something I
that.
want you to remember.
Yeah, he has 2 side Bs.
When you do
That's
a
what's cool about Terry. He has 2
this
side
is
Bs.
how it will look. Terry swings with his whole body when using Burning Knuckle and Crack Shoot, so it can be hard to recover.
Wow.
Crack shoot looks weird though.
If you keep pressing backwards without
He's
inputting,
basically doing a front
you
flip.
should be able to initiate Crack Shoot in the direction you're
Yeah,
trying to
kinda.
recover. Let me show you one more time. Do this, then continue to press backward. And then you can recover. If you press too quickly or input some commands, you'll fly right off the stage, so be careful.
We should do a
This is
Terry
his up
video though.
special, Rising Tackle.
Maybe.
It also has weak and strong versions, each with
Rising
different
Tackle.
rules.
His up B is called Raising
And did you
Tackle.
notice that if you hold down briefly
Yeah,
to charge,
rising
Oh,
tackle.
Rising Tackle.
in this case, your whole body will be invincible at the start. Either way, your legs will be invincible. Here's an example of this invincibility in action. With the standard Rising Tackle, I got completely wiped out when I threw myself at them. But with Rising Tackle's charged command version, you can't be
Oh, wow.
hit at this moment, so you come out on top.
Dang.
You can of course use Rising Tackle as a recovery as well. Even after using Burning Knuckle or Crack Shoot, you can still use Rising Tackle. This is also very helpful when you're trying to
Oh yeah, and his up B has
keep that in
been.
mind. His
Oh, yeah.
down special is Power Dunk,
Power
an
dunk.
attack that rises and descends.
See, it has an invincibility.
This side
That's
It
right.
kind of reminds me of
Without
Wonder. It
command
kind of reminds me of
is
Wonder
also
Woman.
known as a
Banger's
Shoryuken
move.
command.
Yeah, kinda.
If you can pull it off,
So
you'll
Terry
be
has
able to
invincibility
start the
too.
move.
Wow. That's kind of like Infinite Wars a little bit.
Also, you can hear a sound when it connects.
He has the same down tilt as Ryu's. but
Now,
his is slower.
let's talk about canceling specials. I'd really like you to keep this in mind.
And his down special is
First, if you use a special after attacking with a standard attack,
his I don't know. His down B is
the
kind of
special won't come out until the move animation has finished. That makes sense, right? But here's what happens when you cancel out of it. At this moment here, if you've successfully entered a special command input, the rest of the animation
Chill
will
with the
cancel,
bow and the
allowing you to
bow.
attack again immediately. I'll do that again. Throw out a kick like normal. And once your leg extends, you'll perform the move. Set it
yeah.
up so that when you attack, you can go straight into a special. This will increase your offensive options.
Who's that?
Please try this out.
See, he
For
always comes
example,
into my room every time I make a
Neutral attack,
video.
1, 2, and power down. This is a bread and butter
What
combo.
is she saying?
Aside
Yeah.
from that,
I don't know, something about that my
you
mom.
can also get
her
Terry
mom
to fly
needs
out
to
and
pick
attack
my
in an
computer.
M shape.
Her mom
Yeah.
needs
In
to
his
do it.
original game, you could only cancel attacks on the ground, but in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's possible to cancel aerial moves. The types of aerial attacks that you can cancel
Damn,
are
Terry has
limited to
combos.
neutral air attacks or down air attacks. But I think it would be wise to use these combos to expand your offensive.
How you do that combo? It's like a
And at last,
Oh,
the
yeah,
final
smash.
smash. His final smash begins with a triple geyser. Terry will shoot 3 geysers straight forward. However, if you think that's all, you're very mistaken.
I love his final smash.
Oh, nice. Wow.
As you can see,
Do you like his final smash?
if triple
Yeah, it's pretty
geyser
cool.
connects, you'll follow up with power dunk and Buster Wolf. It's 3 moves in 1. It's a visually striking combo. You may be wondering what happened to his original super special moves. Yes, they're here too.
Where's your little girl cousin?
With the usual rules, when Terry's
I don't
damage meter rises up to 100% or higher, and in stamina mode,
tell
when
you
his
later.
overall HP drops to 30% or
I
less,
think his final
you'll see this
smash
go
is
icon at the bottom of the screen. At this point,
that's
you
Terry's
enter
final
a
smash.
specific
Triple
command.
geyser.
Oh, yeah.
You can initiate the power geyser you see here. The command input is, if I borrow the way it's said in the original game, down, angle down, side, angle down, forward. Well, it's a bit complicated. Downward, then backward, then forward. You see? It is an action game after all, so you get to control the direction of your punch, be it right or left. In that case, no matter which direction you're going for, just swap the right input and left input. It's like this: downward, then backward, then forward. Or down, and then the opposite direction if that's forward. And then there's his other super special move,
Wow.
Buster Wolf.
Buster Wolf.
You can initiate this one by repeating the Hadouken command input twice. Down to side, then down to
I know
side.
those moves are difficult.
It can be rather difficult to pull off moves using the original game's command inputs, but you can also use simplified
Buster
command
Wolf looks hard to do
In
though.
the case of Power Geyser, remember this: down, side, down, forward.
It pretty much grabs you and you
And
explode.
downward, to the side, to the back,
That's pretty
downward
cool.
again, and then forward. You should be fine. In the case of Buster Wolf, it's simply down, side, side. That should be easier to remember.
Power geyser.
Even though the command input is complex, it can still be blocked with ease. Since these moves can only be used when Terry has taken a lot of damage, you'll be in even more danger if your opponent blocks. So they're high risk and high return. Please save them for when you really need to make a last-ditch effort.
Oh yeah,
use it
Power
again and
Geyser.
again.
I like Buster Wolf
Be
better
careful.
than Power Geyser.
Your opponent may be
Yeah.
able to predict your move and take action. Essentially, it's best
Do
to
you
use
realize
it
if Terry has over
cancel out of a
damage?
combo.
Go right next to.
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, just look at his head. You see
I
go
decided to
right there.
match his original game. His up
When that happens,
hey,
you can
come
do
on,
his
come on,
special
from
move.
the King of Fighters series. His down
You
taunt
do
spins his
Buster
hat
Roll
into
for
a rear
Power
action.
Geyser. You can use those two when that
And
happens.
his side taunt is stand up from Gutto, Mark of the Wolves.
His taunts are pretty cool.
I've demonstrated him using various special moves in the game so far, and you can hear his voice. Like that. We've incorporated both his longer remarks, like Power Wave, from older titles, and his shorter remarks, like Rock You, from newer titles.
One of his taunts he spins is the hat. That's crazy.
And here are his color variations.
Oh well.
Takes off his hat.
There's a good variety of colors available
I like the
from the
black one
Pasta
better.
series, and the cat design is slightly different in each version. They're based on his original games, and we've also included some from the King of Fighters 14 and the anime.
Oh yeah, his colors are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the yellow one. Yellow looks good on him.
I also like the black one too.
He sometimes takes off his cap too. For example, it happens during his victory pose. His cap also blows away when
He looks good in yellow
standing.
for some reason.
Yeah.
And his victory screen is pretty cool.
King of Fighters Stadium.
The stage is called King of Fighters
Oh.
Stadium.
Yeah, that's his stage. King of Fighters
It
Stadium.
looks like one hardcore fighting coliseum. The text above the jumbo
King of Fighters Stadium is a pretty good stage though.
without the.
Oh yeah.
When we talk about a game title, we need the up front, but the name of the tournament in the game's story is just King of Fighters. This is a very
But watch how the stage
and it
works.
follows
dude.
some rules
Pretty
that haven't
crazy.
existed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before. First, the edge is walled off. In the Super Smash Bros. Series, you need to launch opponents off the stage. Here, however, the more damage a fighter has accumulated, the more the wall will visually react when they're launched into it. Can you see? Eventually,
See, the edge is walled off and you have to keep hitting your...
fighters
Oh,
will
nice.
break right through the wall.
That is so cool.
Well, if you keep hitting your opponent there, then you'll...
Basically,
Keep
this
watching.
special feature allows you
Can
to
you take
KO
it?
an opponent only after they've accumulated enough
I don't know.
damage.
See, you can go right through it. If you...
That way, you can enjoy the battle more like you would
This stage
in a
is pretty
traditional
dope.
fighting game.
Yep.
When you're close to the wall,
You just go right
it's
through this
possible to
stage.
KO
You take
even when your damage
this
is
stage
low.
though.
It's just like in regular stages. In the Real Bout Fatal Fury series, there was a feature in which the walls could be destroyed and players could suffer a ring out when they hit the wall. This isn't exactly the same, but we made it kind of similar to that. We hope you'll enjoy playing at this stage with all its special rules.
Wow.
By the way, there are guest characters in the background, right? Since we have the opportunity, I'd like to introduce them to you.
Camos.
First up, Andy Bogard. He's the adoptive brother
Camos.
of Terry Bogard. Both of them were adopted from an orphanage and raised by Jeff Bogard. However, while Terry's teacher was Jeff
Camos.
Bogard, Andy studied under Mai Shiranui's father. He uses the Koppoken fighting style. Joe Higashira. He's one of the three main characters from earlier games in the Fatal Fury series.
Just say
He's the
Camo
only one
or
that doesn't
Camo?
have any connection to Geese
Camos.
Howard. He's a Muay Thai champion. Kung Fu Ru. He's
What?
the master of the Holy Fist of 8 Ways, and he also trained Jeff Bogard. He can enlarge his body as well.
I thought you said camel.
Billy Kane.
Like smoke.
He's been in many Fatal Fury games since the
No, I
first
said
one,
Camos.
and he's the right-hand man of Geese Howard.
Oh.
While he appears in the first game, his costume is based on his appearances in King of Fighters 97 onwards. You can't really see his back, but the no smoking symbol is definitely there. Geese Howard. He's the big boss of Southtown, and he's the rival of Terry Bogard. Falling off of buildings is his thing. Rock Howard. His first appearance
That
was
almost looked
Gutto,
like
Mark
Shulk
of
a
the
little
Wolves.
bit.
He's the son of
Yeah,
Geese
he's-
Howard, and Terry
Mark
actually
Howard.
These guys that he's announcing. These guys that he's announcing.
appearance in this game at
They're
this
gonna be in the
stage,
background.
that's look,
Yeah,
This
Rock
stage.
Howard,
really
he
jive
almost
with
like
the
Shulk a
timeline,
little bit.
But Smash is kind of like that to begin with, right?
These guys are going to be in the back of the
Taekwondo
stage.
and considers himself a fighter for justice. His
These
whole
guys is
is very famous. Ryuji Yamazaki. His first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3, and he's a criminal known as Dark Broker. He's very selfish and sadistic. Blue Mary. Her first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3 too.
I wonder, I'm really mad, dude.
Good drinking buddy of Terry.
The fifth fighter didn't get announced on Nintendo.
From the Fatal
So I really want to find out.
From here on, let me introduce characters from other series.
So curious.
Athena Asamiya. She's a psycho
Better
soldier.
be Crash. I want
Psycho
Crash
Soldier is a
Bandicoot.
memorable game released around 1986, and it was the
Hell
first
yeah.
to feature a fully voiced theme song. With
Those Crash Bandicoot, that'll be
This
awesome.
epic song was also remixed
Yeah,
for
that'd be
Super
epic.
Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it was recorded in both Japanese and English. Music start.
Be the fifth fighter in the first fighter pass.
He's the protagonist of the King of Fighters series, and he uses the ancient...
There's gonna be one more fighter in the first fighter pass, and it's
Speaking
gonna
of
be enough.
protagonists, there are
That's like a
differences
second
depending
one.
on which version you're talking about, like Orochi and...
Bro, I wonder who the fifth fighter is. Curious, we'll see in the future.
Anyway, he is forever a school kid. Iori Yagami. Originally, he was introduced as Kyo Kusanagi's rival, but when I first saw this character in the game at the time, due to his look and attitude, I thought, whoever created this character must be a genius.
I like Terry's stage.
Goro Daimon.
Yep.
He's a judo gold medalist belonging to the Japanese team, and he likes to throw his opponents. Chang Hohen and Choi Bonge. One is an escaped convict, and the other is a slasher. They are currently undergoing rehabilitation under the previously mentioned Kim Kapwan. Ralph Jones and Clark Still.
Where's your
Originally,
cousin?
they were main characters in the Ikari Warriors series before Neo
I
Geo.
don't know.
They appeared as guests in the
okay.
Metal Slug series too.
Maybe she went in the
Yo
kitchen.
Sakazaki,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
protagonist
guess so.
of Art of Fighting. The original Art of Fighting was released just before Fatal Fury 2.
She's in the
That means
kitchen
it's
and
the
you're
first game
not.
to implement a true
That's
super special
funny.
move.
Uh,
How could I not include him? King. Her first appearance was in Art of Fighting, and she's a bouncer and bodyguard. She is a beautiful woman with an androgynous sense of style. Next, Yuri Sakazaki. She was kidnapped in the first Art of Fighting game, but after that, she trained hard and mastered Kyokugen Karate in just 1 year. In other words, she's a genius. So, as you can see, we've included many characters, a total of 20 characters. You know, it's very
What part are you
I
in?
mean, it takes a lot of time. But so many people love each
What part
and
are you
every one of
in?
these characters, even outside the
just in
confines
the
of their
part
individual
where
series. So we simply
Ray
had
was,
to do our best
talking
by
about
them.
some other characters.
By the way, you may have noticed that a very important character from the Fatal Fury series was not included. Yes, Mai Shiranui. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is for good boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive us. Also, my music features a variety of tracks, and the music that plays affects which special guests will appear. For example, there's a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look forward to that as well. Okay, I'm done providing information, so now let's jump into some actual battles. This time, I'm going to play the Terry route with classic mode.
With Terry?
On
Oh
top,
yeah, this
I
time
want
he's
to try
doing
and
classic
hit the
mode.
highest intensity level. Let's see if I can get all the way up to intensity 9.
He's not fighting CPUs anymore.
Honestly, playing the game in extreme
He's doing classic
while
mode.
doing commentary is extremely hard.
Why would Sakura want to do classic mode with Terry?
To divide my
I don't know.
attention, but that means I should do my best.
I've never seen him do classic mode
Do
before.
my best. First, this route is named the King of Smash. 3 characters who have some sort of connection will appear as a set, a challenge that looks somehow familiar. Okay, the first intensity level is 5.0, so I should be fine. All battles in Terry's route are stamina battles. This stage's special KO rule that I talked about earlier isn't the best match for stamina rules, but oh well. On his route, a lot of stages feel like they're from a traditional fighting game. Okay, I did it anyway.
Sakura's pretty good at Smash.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, even in this mode, it's
He
not
is.
impossible for me to try for a KO, but normally it'll be over before that. There,
Nice.
done. Looks like he's saying, "Give me something." Next, round 2. It's the Legend
You
of Zelda
said
team.
balls.
Just because characters are in a team because of their similarities, that doesn't mean that they have to be from the same game. This is Let's Go to Seoul, Kim Kapwan's theme. And I've got it set up so that we don't move from the bottom of Prison Tower. It would be easiest to simply knock him off the screen, but I'm not going to do that, because it's not as fun to watch. Oops, I knocked him off. Over here. It's gonna blow. Will he do it?
Oh, he missed.
Alright. The boomerang's not coming back. And I can't go to the edge. Oh no! The tables have turned.
Nice.
Cancelled it. He wears his cap backward when he does a power dunk. Now you could call this the giant stage. All the giants are lined up. Of course, the music track is Taku and Stepi. Of course, he says. You might wonder who Taku and Stepi are. But it seems like it means Tanaka and Kitamura. This track is from Fatal Fury 2. There's a giant wrestler named Big Bear, and this is his track. Regardless of the track name, it's a really famous hard rock song, so please give it a listen. The original song was called Yusha Raiden. There's that masked wrestler. Big Bear is his true identity. He's called Raiden.
Sakura's pretty good, yeah.
Wow. Dude, combos his tail wave.
Jump! I'm beginning to find...
Yeah, it seems like Sakura knows every combo.
Round 4. The whole atmosphere is a little different than how it's been until now, right? We've been to arena-style flat stage.
Sakura might be the best,
Form stage.
even though he's the one that made
There's
this
an
game.
item.
Oh, he missed.
There's an arcade game,
Sakura's the one that made this game.
and this stage
Yep.
uses that
He's
as a
good at it,
motif.
too.
Yeah, and he's the one that made this game.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I suppose both Lady Palutena and the
If
Athena,
it wasn't for Sakura, man, this game wouldn't
the
even.
Athena of Greek mythology.
When they even exist.
Yeah, this game wouldn't even be
I
alive.
wanted to do
If it
something
wasn't for
with two
Sakura.
characters who are similar or have similar
There,
abilities.
there will be
but
no
together.
Super Smash Bros.
It's a nice Kokugenryu team.
If Sakura didn't exist, nope, Smash Bros wouldn't exist either.
Nope.
If I let my guard down, I'll easily be defeated, so I need to pay attention. Not bad, Yu. By the way, you can use moves like Crack Shoot to aim for overhead platforms, so they have some utility to them. I kept her in check. Phew, that was close. Looks like that fire bar didn't work out for her.
So who was out of your word?
It's getting brutal. The intensity is close
I'll
to
tell
8.
you later. Because right now I'm still
You could say
recording.
the opposing team is comprised of heroes from different
Tell
companies.
me later,
Sonic and
man.
Terry are on the
Yeah,
stage. Actually, Sonic and Terry were both created
He's too
in
scared to
91,
tell me.
so they're the same age.
No, I'm not.
Hey, you are.
No way.
And the next year, in 92,
Fuck you want to tell me later then?
Because I'm recording.
everyone's getting old.
I'm
You don't want
recording.
people
still
to,
recording
you don't want people to hear it?
What?
You don't want your viewers to hear it?
No.
You know, it's
Okay.
easier to fight on sloped ground. When using Crack Shoot, it's especially easy going uphill. Yikes. It's too soon to be
I like his down B.
I started out with 150
His down B
HP,
is epic.
so I feel like I'm losing. Next,
Yeah, it's power dunk.
he was born in
His down B is power dunk.
Yep.
The first Street Fighter came out in '87 as well, so that makes Ryu the same age. That was bad.
Bird and Knuckle looks cool too.
Yeah.
Don't go off screen.
Oh, nice.
Ah, he went off. I'm sorry. And now, Pac-Man from 1980
Best
is here.
player in the world.
Of course,
that made
this
this
character
game,
was
dude.
made by Bandai Namco Studios.
Soccer
So
made
when I
this
talk
game
to
and
the
he's
team,
playing the game
I'll
here.
call him your
Yep.
company's character.
That's always cool
I
to
always
see
feel
though,
like
like
saying,
if someone makes it,
our company's character.
watch them play it.
I often
You
have
watch
these
them
kinds of
play it
experiences
even though they're the one who made the game.
Oh, that was close.
Yep.
But I won't give in until the very end,
It's always cool to see though.
because I've got a super special move.
Make the game and then play it, right?
How was that? Not enough? I see. Well, how about now? It's bad to keep using the same move. Seriously.
Yeah, standing is bad.
Next, you could call this Team Darkness.
I like that move.
With the track Soy Sauce for Geese, playing
Buster
on the
Wolf? rooftop,
Is
that what it's
it's
called,
got
Buster
the
Wolf?
aura of a
Yeah, I think
final
it's called
showdown.
Buster Wolf.
The other one is called Power Glider.
Oh, not
Glider
good.
or something.
Up next is Ganon.
But you only can do those moves when...
By him. Not
The only
even-
time you can do those special moves,
Oh yeah.
you have to wait till it says go on,
You can't take
and you have
these
to get
lightning
over
shots
100
like this
damage.
one.
That's the only way to do Buster Wolf and Power Glider.
Yeah.
That was a bad
But that
move.
sucks though, because then Terry would just have a lot of... You die any minute because you have a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Alright, can I do this without getting hit?
I don't know why they made Terry like
Now
that
for a
though.
scary one. Bayonetta.
Yeah, I know.
Or he
I don't
only
really
did
like
those-
that either.
He only can do those moves if he has over 100 damage.
Yep. I'm giving this everything I've got. Oh, that was just dangerous. Pulling off that midair jump was risky. Uh-oh.
Bayonetta's a scary witch.
She's so good. That was a beautiful move. But she couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. That will cost her a lot. Time for the final battle. It's not Master Hand, but Ryu, Ken, and then Terry.
I'm surprised that
Naira.
Naira. I'm surprised Naira
In
didn't
other
do a
words,
video.
it's kind of a themed fight.
Maybe I just do it later, maybe.
He's super strong, so I have to work hard.
I know Zero did it.
Oh yeah, I got the notification from Zero.
I'm not pacing this out very well.
Yeah, he did a video of this. I saw it too.
I'm starting from 150 HP,
Naira didn't
so
do that,
I
but
wish he
Zero did.
defeated Ryu before HP dropped to 100. But I can't give up until the end. I have a super special move. But Terry is last.
Terry's uppy is like,
Same super
nah, you know.
But this is no time for chit chat.
All he does is raise up, rises up.
Doing this while
Yeah.
talking. Oh
That's
no!
probably why they call it rising. Because he rises up and tackles you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is no good.
It's
Got it.
cool. You know what can kill if your opponent has a lot of
Gets even
damage.
tougher from here.
Terry's better than Ken.
Yeah, a lot better than Ken.
I messed up a perfect shield. Here he comes.
But yeah, Terry has the same down tilt as Ryu. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
but
That's
with a
just
power wave?
excellent point.
The only
If I
difference
pulled off a
is
super
Terry's
special
is
move,
slow.
that would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But alright,
Sakura
did I make
said.
it to intensity 9.9?
Damn.
Yes, I did. That was hard work.
Oh, nice.
He knocked his ass out with the power wave.
Yep.
Terry Bogard is really fun to play as, so I hope you enjoy playing as him in such situations.
Song collection.
Next, let's talk about the music.
Everyone's clapping.
This time we have something
Good
very special
job,
lined up
Seth.
for you.
How good is
instance,
Terry's
when we were
songs?
deciding which songs to include in this
Terry has 50 songs,
we
dude.
thought
I
about
gave him
concentrating
50
on
songs.
songs related to Terry.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of big band style songs that didn't really fit the mood of battle.
50 Fatal
That
Fury
aside, the
songs.
music of SNK
Which I never
has
heard
always
Fatal
been
Fury
great,
songs
right
before.
from the beginning.
Neither.
So this time, we selected tracks that could be called SNK style. Basically, we expanded the selection a bit to include series outside of just Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters. SNK songs have always been great, really. This was true before Neo Geo, and all the way from the old The King of Fighters games to the arrangements in the latest installment, The King of Fighters 14. We did a lot of digging around, and finally managed to narrow our many candidates down to 50 songs. We never intended to do something like this, of course. So we submitted our 50 proposals to SNK, expecting them to pick out maybe 10 or 20 that they considered acceptable. But they told us they were okay. As a result,
okay,
we pretty
what?
much added in 50 songs. Have a look at the list.
Sorry, what?
That's how we ended up with the list we have,
nothing.
but we worked hard to deliver some of the best remixes. This was a very special one-off case, and I don't think we'll be able to do the same for other series. To be honest, I think that being able to hear such a selection might make the Fighter's Pass worth quite a bit more than its price. I do hope you'll enjoy it. Challenger Pack 4 comes with a Spirit
Your
board.
cousin just walked in your room.
The Spirit board can be selected via the Spirits menu.
She left you behind, man.
Have a look at the background. If it looks familiar to you, you'll start feeling pretty nostalgic.
They think you're better off
Shinjiro-san's
without
artwork is
them.
always so nice and vibrant, isn't it?
You
can also look
Right there,
forward
having
to
like a
mock tournaments
storyboard same
featuring
thing as
each of the
Joker,
characters.
Banjo, and
That
Hero.
old school Athena and Ralph and
Yeah,
Clark
now Terry has a
really
spirit
is
board.
something.
Oh,
Now for the Mii Fighters. Please have a look.
oh, it's a costume, isn't it?
Now we're getting on to the Mii Fighters.
The Mii Fighter costumes.
I might buy those costumes one day though when I get more. That Mii costume looks cool.
Akira.
Yeah. Mii costumes are pretty dope.
Yep.
They're only gonna cost 75 cents. I remember that Sans costume that I had.
Oh yeah.
These costumes I might get.
No, they're not.
I might get these costumes.
The second one from the top, it looks like Goku's costume a little bit.
SNK was also involved with the Mii Fighter set this time, so it has a strong fighting game influence. It borrows a lot from the series Nakoruru comes from, like her wind slash attack, so I hope you'll enjoy those little details. Moving on to Amiibo, here's the new lineup. Simon, Chrom, and Incineroar.
Oh.
Each of these will be released
Well,
on Friday,
Incineroar.
November 15th.
The Amiibos.
Yeah, and I really want to get that amiibo.
Next, let's discuss the details of the update.
I might get Simon
We've
for
made
the
some
Amiibo.
improvements to
I'd rather get the Incineroar.
First, we're
Incineroar
making it
amiibo
so you
looks
can
pretty
send
cool.
messages to each other in a battle arena.
Oh, you can
The
do that now?
messages are preset.
You can like do
So there's
messages
that,
on the
and
battle
also the
arena?
player who created the arena can now change the rules.
Yeah, you can do that now.
That's so cool.
We've also added the option to play either Battlefield form or Omega form at random in the stage settings.
Yeah, you just click on where it says message.
Aside from that, you can
The
now
messages
play
will pop
only
out
as an
in
arena.
a square blue thing.
Furthermore, quick play won't be the only.
I thought that was cool too. Like you can talk to.
Yeah, you can.
As long as the
What?
arena type
Yeah, you
is set
can.
to
I think it's
public
better
and no
than
password
getting
is
on
set,
the
we've made it so
Switch,
anyone is now free to join.
online thing
So
on
I hope
your
you'll enjoy
phone or
that.
something.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better.
Terry
than that.
is due for distribution on November 6th.
Yeah, so when you get
If
the
you have the
update,
fighter's pass,
the
you'll be able to
message
get
will
it
be
straight
there.
away.
Yeah.
Where you
can
can send
purchase it
messages on the in the arena.
Well, I think that wraps it up for our Terry Bogard showcase. I hope we were able to convey his appeal. By the way, his reveal trailer was aired in a
Terry is Challenger Pack 4
It was
though.
created using
Yeah.
SNK pixel art. The complete version of it, including the gameplay portion, is finally ready. I'd like to show it to you after this.
Are we gonna get him right now?
Now, this is something of an inside story, but
Maybe.
I
All
think
you gotta
it's
do
really
is
part
go
of
to the
SNK's
software
pixel
and
art
get the
pack
update.
reveal
Yeah,
trailer.
I know.
When the invitation comes out, you might recall how it says, "Don't
Since
be
you heard about the fighter pass.
Yep.
That is not what I wrote. It makes me think, ugh, this is why I hate inside jokes. After leaving it to the staff, it snuck its way in there. I just want you to know that the S is also the Super Smash Bros. Series S. Well then, let's move on to the intro movie.
The intro movie.
Fatal Fury.
Oh, I remember that's from the other one.
Terry faces the Fury.
Hey, come on, come on! Here's the big one! Press the ball! Terry wins! Okay!
Nice.